Starting and incorporating a nonprofit organization in Kentucky can be a rewarding venture, allowing you to give back to your community and address important issues. However, navigating the legal steps required to register your nonprofit can feel daunting if you're not familiar with the process. Whether you're starting a charity, religious organization, or any other nonprofit entity, Kentucky has specific requirements to ensure that your nonprofit is legitimate and operates within the law. In this article, we'll guide you through the step-by-step process of registering and incorporating your nonprofit in the state, explain the necessary legal obligations, and help you understand the timeline and additional registrations you may need. The first step in incorporating a nonprofit in Kentucky is to choose an appropriate name for your organization. Kentucky law requires that the name of your nonprofit must be unique and not easily confused with the name of any other registered entity within the state. Before you settle on a name, you'll need to check its availability by searching the Kentucky Secretary of State's database. After confirming your name, you must draft and file the Articles of Incorporation with the Kentucky Secretary of State. This document lays the foundation for your nonprofit, providing key details about the organization, such as its name, principal office address, registered agent, and the purpose for which the organization is formed. A registered agent is someone designated to receive legal documents on behalf of the nonprofit. This could be you, another board member, or even a professional service. Once the Articles of Incorporation are completed and filed, you'll need to pay a filing fee, which is currently $8, but always verify for the latest amount. After submitting your Articles of Incorporation, the next step is to obtain an Employer Identification Number, EIN, from the IRS. This 9-digit number acts like a social security number for your nonprofit and is required for hiring employees, opening bank accounts, and applying for tax-exempt status. Once you have your EIN, you'll likely want to apply for tax-exempt status under Section 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code, which is the most common tax-exempt status for nonprofits. Achieving this status exempts your organization from federal income taxes and allows donors to deduct contributions from their taxes. To apply, you'll need to file IRS Form 1023 or Form 1023 Easy. The full Form 1023 is quite detailed and requires in-depth information about your nonprofit's financials, structure, and planned activities. Form 1023 Easy is a shorter, simplified version for smaller nonprofits that meet specific criteria. After you've secured federal tax-exempt status, it's important to make sure your nonprofit also meets state-level tax obligations. In Kentucky, nonprofits are exempt from state corporate income taxes, but to take advantage of this exemption, you'll need to submit Form 51A-125 to the Kentucky Department of Revenue. In addition, if your nonprofit will be soliciting donations from the public, you'll likely need to register with the Kentucky Attorney General's office. This is done through the Charitable Organization Registration Statement, and it's required to ensure your nonprofit operates transparently when raising funds. It's also important to establish a strong governance structure for your nonprofit. Kentucky law requires that your nonprofit have at least 3 directors. These directors will play a crucial role in overseeing the organization's activities and ensuring it stays true to its mission. Typically, the directors, along with officers such as the president, secretary, and treasurer, will form the nonprofit's board. Depending on your nonprofit's activities, you may need additional registrations or licenses. For instance, if your organization will be involved in selling goods or services, you'll need to register for Kentucky state sales tax, even if you're tax-exempt for other purposes. The timeline for incorporating and fully registering a nonprofit in Kentucky depends on a few factors, including the responsiveness of the Secretary of State's office and the IRS. Typically, the process of filing your Articles of Incorporation takes just a few business days, while obtaining federal tax-exempt status can take several months. Incorporating a nonprofit in Kentucky is a structured yet rewarding journey. By following the appropriate legal steps, filing the correct paperwork, and building a strong organizational foundation, your nonprofit can begin making a real impact. The process can feel complex, but with careful attention to detail and a commitment to your nonprofit's mission, you'll be well on your way to success.